Sipping this lean, I'm living carefree. Da da da. LSD for me and you. Keep up, please. You can't judge nobody, so don't judge me. I just like smoking that weed. I just like smoking that weed.
What's up, YouTube? It is your girl Paris Sunday Friends here with another story time. And yes, I am in my car right now only because I'm waiting on something, and I have my camera with me, so I was like, you know what, why not record a video? Let's record this video. Oh, my hat. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, it's nice to meet you. My name is Paris, and on my channel I just do like a little bit of everything. And if you're not new, thanks for sticking around. Like, I really appreciate you guys. As y'all can tell by the title, this story time is gonna be about how I had a job for 30 minutes. So I'm about to get right into it. Alright, so this was like 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. I was trying to move to Atlanta with she's not my friend anymore, but I was trying to move to Atlanta with my so-called friend. She had a job already lined up for us. So basically what I was doing was I was already trying to apply for a job, but she was like, you know what, they have like this on spot hiring thingy, and we have to go to Macon and all this and that in order to get the job. So basically we already had a job, we just had to go to Macon. It was like that upcoming Friday, I believe. Yeah, it was that upcoming Friday. Like, you know what, let's do this. Like, we'll already have a job, this and that, and then we can go and look at places. And you know, either way, this job was like starting off at $11 an hour. So I kind of didn't want a job like that because I was like, you know, coming from $15 an hour to $11 an hour. But I was just like, you know what, the hours are good. So we went off to Macon that Friday. Friday comes, we went to Macon, and it was kind of a, you know, a little drive away. We go to Macon, and as soon as we get to the place, it looks sketchy as hell. But it was this group before us, they went in, and so we kind of heard the gist of the job, but I'm not gonna tell y'all it yet. I'm just gonna tell y'all how it went down. So it was like a lot of people. It was like, not little girls, but like they were like 17, 18. It was us, and it was older women that was like, you know, in their 30s, 40s. By the way, we did not know what this job consists of because when they emailed us, they only said it was a factory job. And I'm sitting up here like, I never been in a factory before. I've been in a warehouse. Warehouses aren't for me, but I never worked in a fucking factory. So I was like, you know what is the worst that could happen? And the lady, like, off rip, like, the office looked old as hell, and it looks like she was just, you know, using the office for that day because she didn't have like any of her personal items, and she brought her laptop, and it just looked so ghetto. She looked at us, she was like, okay, y'all fill this out, boom boom boom, gave us actual applications. We filled the applications out and stuff, and she basically told us the gist of the job. So this was the gist of the job. So after when we filled out the application, she was like, okay, so you guys will be working in the factory in Jackson. If you don't know where Jackson is like 50 minutes away from Atlanta. And with us moving to Atlanta for a job just starting off, you know, we didn't really mind traveling those 50 minutes away. Jackson is very country. Oh, let me turn on this car because it's hot. Hold on. So she was like, it's in Jackson, Georgia, this and that. You'll be working in the factory, and literally what you're doing is you have salad bowls. You have these salad bowls, and all you gotta do is just put certain stuff inside the salads. Literally, that's all you're doing. So I'm sitting up here like, damn, that sounds easy as hell. I'm down. Like, I'm down. That's all we have to do. Like, that's all we have to do. But and this is where I should have just listened to her and not even go to the job. She was like, the job has a big turnover rate, but she doesn't understand why. This bitch knew why. She didn't understand why they had a huge turnover rate. I'm sitting up here like, okay, I mean, I worked at a warehouse where it had a huge turnover rate, and I kind of understand why it had a huge turnover rate, because for one, that's a job where you have to be focused on just that job. Like, you have to be focused on moving up. You have to be focused on, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm going to be doing for a long time. And me, I don't like working somewhere like, I don't don't see myself working in a warehouse for the rest of my life, if that makes sense. Job wasn't, you know, it didn't appeal to me. I was just like, you know what? I don't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. I'm never gonna move up. Like, that was just my mindset. Like, you had to be dedicated to that job mentally and physically, and I just couldn't do it. Like, I just couldn't do it. She was like, it's a high turnover rate, but these are the reasons why. She's like, you have to be dedicated to the job, which I was like, you know what, like, I'm not really dedicated. I know I'm not gonna be dedicated, but this is just for the time being, just for us to get our money up so we can get a place. The hours, she was just like, you get 2 days out the week where you have off. 2 days out the week that you have off, and you're literally working 5 to finish. So what they mean by 5 p.m. to finish, what they meant by to finish is whenever they're done with you is when you can go home. Not telling if you get done at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you get done at 12, maybe 3. This is what I'm thinking. She was like, but you won't be there no longer than 3 now. So I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, because when I was working at a warehouse job, I was literally working 5 p.m. to 3 in the morning, but that was just only a weekend. So I'm sitting up here like, okay, well, that's not bad. I was working those hours before, but she said till finish. I'm gonna catch back on to that once I actually get into the job. And the biggest reason why it was a high turnover rate was because it's a cold environment to work in. So when she said that, she tried to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal. She was like, I mean, it is pretty cold, but it's tolerable. All you have to do is just, you know, wear layers of clothing. I am a summer baby. I hate the cold. I hate the cold. Listen, I did not know, this is my mind. I was like, I used to work at Walmart where it was like negative 12 degrees inside the little freezer, like, but I didn't have to stay in the freezer for a long time. It was for a split second. That's cold. I was just like, that's it, like, that's the only thing. Like, she was just trying to make it seem like it wasn't bad. She didn't say nothing about the attitudes. She didn't say none of this. She was like, so do any of y'all accept the job? We was like, sure, like, hell yeah, we gonna get this job because, you know, we need a job. She was like, okay, well, are you guys available to start tomorrow? And me and my friend looking at each other like, tomorrow, man? I mean, we stay in Valdosta, so Macon was like, I'll say like 2 hours away. And she was like, we have to report to Jackson. So 2 hours away, on top of, I don't even know how long Jackson was, but I think it was like 3 hours in all, because Jackson is literally Atlanta, but 50 minutes from Atlanta. Next day comes, and she gave us the address, and we literally took the trip to Jackson. So while we were at Jackson, we got there. I realized how small it was. It was very small, y'all. It was very small. See this big ass factory and stuff, and I was just like, okay, let's do this. Like, what worse? How bad could it get? So y'all, mind y'all how many clothes I was layered up, because I already know I don't like the cold, but she was making it seem like it wasn't that cold, you feel me? So I had like my long johns on, I had like a sweater, I had 2 hoodies, I had 3 pairs of pants, and I had 2 or 3 pairs of socks on. I was literally layered up in this bitch. Like, y'all, I was layered. We get there, I'm hot as hell, because we get out and it's hot. It is literally hot because I have all these clothes on, and it's in Georgia, so we're gonna be hot regardless, because, you know, Georgia is hot. Check in, and we have orientation. As you guys know, orientations usually last for like 2 to 3 hours, but this orientation only lasts for an hour, and immediately after that orientation, we had to go to work. So we went through orientation and stuff. We watched this boring ass video. I was just ready to get that day over it, because I was like, you know what? I just want to get the feel of this job, like, period. I told my friend, if I don't like this job, I am leaving, because I am not obligated to stay nowhere. She was like, are you sure? Like, maybe you should just try and, you know, maybe give it a week. I was like, okay, but if I don't like it, like I said, I'm leaving. We start our first day at work. So everybody who was with us the day before was literally in Jackson with us. Like, everybody kind of knew each other, but not really. Like, I didn't talk to no one else. But I mean, once we got to working, I guess people, you know, they're gonna talk to people, try to get to make friends, because that's how you make your work environment 10 times better, is make friends. Even if I made friends here, I was still gonna leave because this shit was not where it's at. As soon as we get started working, the lady at orientation, she didn't have an attitude, but she told us, she was like, yeah, a lot of people, you know, leave because of the attitudes here. Like, a lot of people have attitudes. I'm sitting up here like, huh? Okay. So the lady didn't tell us this in orientation, but she was like, yeah, a lot of people actually leave because people are messy here. They have attitudes, like they don't have nothing better else to do. But if you know, want money, then work. Like, I understood that part. Like, don't let these people get in the way of your money. So we started working. So on top of our clothing and stuff, they gave us a little face shield because of COVID. So they gave us a face shield. They gave us like hair net so we can, you know, tie up our hairs. They gave us 2 of those, so a hair net and then a face net. And I'm like, damn. And the face net only showed like your eyes. So we had a face net, a hair net, and then we had a blue net. So we had 3 nets on. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna insert a picture in here. But we had 3 nets on, and then we had like a little coat, and we had boots on top of everything that we put on. The ladies who gave us, you know, the face nets and stuff, they was already messy. Like, they looking at us like they not even supposed to be wearing those shoes. They not supposed to be wearing that. I already pointed shit out. Like, it's our first day. Why are you getting mad because somebody wearing Crocs? We're about to take them right off so we can put on boots. Like, why is you mad? We had to go and get our coats that they gave us, because at this point we only had face masks, but we didn't have the coats yet. We had to go back in the little dressing room to get those. So before you get to the dressing room, you have to go through the factory part. Y'all, when I tell y'all it was cold as just going through the factory part, it was cold as hell. I was like, damn, it's kind of cold in here. And I'm looking at my friend, I was like, it's cold as and she was like, hell yeah. So I'm sitting up here like, I hope we don't gotta work in this area, which we didn't. And then they started separating us. So me, I'm mad as because I didn't want to be with people who I didn't know. I wanted to be with my friend who I came with. Just, you know, irritated at that point. I'm just sitting up here like, man, why like they treating us like kids already. Once we were separated, I immediately had to go. I immediately had to go on the floor. So I was like, okay, whatever. So we literally went into the little line where we had to put the stuff inside the salads. And y'all, this area was way colder than the first area, like to the point where every time when I was talking I could see my breath, and like everything around me was frozen as I'm just sitting up here like, oh no, hell nah. She made it seem like it was just cold, not cold as they didn't train me on doing nothing, but I mean it was self-explanatory. All I had to do was just put the meat inside the salad bowls, every other salad bowls, and then it was a girl who came with me and she had to put the meat inside the other salad bowls where I didn't, like, because I did every other bowl, and so the other bowls didn't have meat in it, but she had to put it in there. Then like it was just so unorganized. So the lines would move like for 5 minutes, then boom, they'll cut off. 20 minutes later they'll cut back on for 5 minutes, 1 to 5 minutes. The line be down for 20 minutes. Why is this nigga calling me? I'm recording video. So I was just so irritated because I'm sitting up here like, man, what the like, I can't just be standing here not doing nothing inside this cold, you feel me? So I'm just sitting up here like, waiting for the line to come back on. And then I seen people going to breaks, and then next thing you know, everybody in my line was gone. I'm like, the fuck is going on? Like, am I supposed to follow them? So I went to the person who was in charge, and he was like, oh yeah, they went to their break. And I'm like, okay, nobody didn't tell me. So we went on our 30-minute break. Then we came back and everybody was already back. So I'm just sitting up here like, did we miss something? And the girl was like, girl, I don't know what's going on. So then the line was still down and stuff. But the thing on top of that, which pissed me off, was the lady who was in orientation. She literally got behind me and was trying to critique everything that I did. So she was like, you gotta go fast, you gotta go fast, you gotta put more meat in there, you gotta put more meat in there. I'm like, okay, ho. Okay. So I'm trying to hurry up. And I'm starting getting carpal tunnel because I'm repeatedly doing this, like literally doing this in this speed. And my wrist started hurting, so I'm like, God damn. And then my head down, because we had to have my head down with the mask on, and it's cold as fuck, and the mask was fogging up. I was just like, what the fuck? So I'm trying to do it, and she telling me, you missing some, you missing some. I'm like, okay, no, get the fuck out my face, because I'm finna spaz on your ass. But I didn't. And then it was to the point where the line was going too fast, to the point where people wasn't even putting the salads in the bowl. Sometimes, like, it'll have like the salads, no trays to put the meat in, or the trays, no salads. And I was looking like, the fuck is going on? It was just going too fast. It's like an hour or two in, and then this is what, you know, tied the knot. The lady next to me, I had asked her, so what time do we usually get finished by? She looked at me like, I mean, well, it did say until finished, but we don't get out here till like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, the fuck? 5, 6 o'clock in the morning? She was like, and sometimes we don't even have Thursdays or Sundays off. Like, for the past 2 weeks, I've been working the whole 2 weeks. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm finna go. Like, that was my cue to go. Like, this lady, she said we supposed to get Thursdays and Sundays off, but I literally been working for 2 weeks straight because it's been that busy, to the point where we can't have those days off. Like, we can't have those days off. I'm like, this bitch got me fucked up. So they sent us on our last break, and I literally left. I went to my car and left. I texted my friend, I was like, I'm quitting. You can stay in and do the rest of your shift. I don't care. I'm finna sit inside this car and wait for you. She was like, nah, girl, I'm finna leave too. So we ended up leaving. Like, it was like 2 or 3 hours in. I literally said 30 minutes, but it felt like 30 minutes. It was literally 2 or 3 hours in, and I just left. I was like, you know what? This not for me. That's the end of the story on how I stayed with this job for literally 30 minutes, and I packed my shit and left, because who? Not me. So if you guys enjoyed this story, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will have more cooking up for y'all. Okay, bye.